Okay, welcome to the video. In this video, I'm going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to start documenting my journey, I guess you could say, or my progress each and every day. I'm going to code every day until I get a job, basically. And so there's no better way, really, other than practicing interview questions and things like that. There's no better way to actually get good than just practice. So what I'm going to do today and over the next, I don't know how many days, I'm going to work on a project that I initially started while I was at university. What I'll do is I'll give you a quick demo of the app, and then I'll just document my kind of process and my progress, should I say, in kind of adding new features, making it work better, etc. So I'm not going to edit these videos. These are just going to be kind of I guess video diaries. You could think of them as, and hopefully you get something out of it. And I'm just going to put it out there. So this app was I guess I can just show you. Oops. So it's a web application that consists of a front end in React. I've got a back end in I've got an Express and Node backend, and it also includes some smart contract kind of blockchain stuff as well. So I'll show you that. For God's sake. So I'm just going to start the server. Okay, so this is the front end of the app. So what this application was supposed to be was kind of like a proof of concept, or a MVP, I guess, for a web application that would be able to allow farmers specifically and people involved in the supply chain of meat products to be able to record information about the product and store it on a open blockchain. So the idea was that at the moment, kind of supply chains or meat supply chains are not very transparent. When you go to the store and you get a packet of chicken breast or beef or whatever, you don't really know where it comes from. There's no transparency, really. It might have a label on it saying the origin was in this state or in this city, but there's no real traceability either, in terms of like, can you trace that back to a farm? Can you trace it back to even a specific animal? And this issue kind of deals with or is more applicable in this case, or in the case that I was trying to kind of solve, when it comes to halal meat. So if you don't know, people who follow Islam, the religion of Islam, they have certain dietary requirements. I'm sure you've heard of it. They require to eat meat that is deemed as halal. And I won't get into exactly what the requirements for that are, but essentially they are slaughtered. The animals are slaughtered in a slightly different way, and essentially that's it. So as a Muslim, if I go to the store or I go to the butcher, how do I know that the meat is actually halal? Right? How do I know that at the processing plant or at the abattoir it was slaughtered in the correct way? And this app was supposed to provide some sort of, like I said, proof of concept to see how could blockchain be used to kind of try and solve this problem. So obviously this is a very, very basic application. In a real application, it would need to be far more advanced. So I'm just going to go ahead and try and kind of improve it as much as I can. And in the process, obviously learn a bunch of stuff and get ready for what it would be like to actually have a real software engineering job. I have done a year's worth of kind of placement experience, but this would be, I'm looking to kind of go and get my first entry level proper job after finishing university. So enough talk. We're here on the register page. I did this pretty quickly, so it is pretty terrible. And I don't actually know if it works, so I'm going to see if it works. So let's type in, let's fill out this form. So this is a form. So, register your farm animal on the blockchain. This is obviously for farmers. Let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? The animal type, I think this already saved some stuff. Let's say it's poultry. The breed is chicken. And the herd number, I don't know, 67. So I'm going to click submit. This should go ahead and connect to the blockchain. And okay, so yeah, this obviously doesn't work. The last time I checked, it did work. Okay, something going on here. Okay, well, let's go ahead and try and figure out what's going on. So I've got a client directory, which has all the UI code, contract directory, which has the smart contract, and then a server directory, which has the Express server. So I don't actually, okay, so I'm logging, I'm console logging some stuff here. So I'm getting a 502 error. The way the front end works is when let me have a quick look. So when I actually click, when I click the submit button, it should send, I think I had the Express server acting as like a API gateway. It would send a API call to my server, which would then interact with the blockchain to try and actually store the oh, that's right, I was using NFTs to represent a particular animal or a particular asset on the blockchain. So maybe let me quickly go through that, see if I can remember what's going on. Now, like I said, I don't really remember this too much. Can't remember what I did now. Let me just see if I've got. Okay, so this is my smart contract. I think this was the one that I was using. I think I added these later. So what was I doing? Oh yeah, okay. So the NFT that represents the animal or the product essentially contains an ID, an animal type, a breed, herd number, and then this was an array of events. Right, so this is the kind of the trace, and the trace would be I've defined the struct event here. The trace is essentially what is happening to this NFT, right? So each NFT is essentially transferred between different actors in the supply chain. So initially it's minted by the farmer when he actually creates the I guess the record using this form. So this is essentially a farmer saying, okay, I want to register my animal on the blockchain. This is supposed to actually mint an NFT, which will have these particular attributes. So the trace is, what is it doing? Oh yes, I remember. So it has a timestamp and it has a string which contains a data URI. The idea was that you don't want to store too much or all the information about the NFT on chain, because it becomes very expensive to do. So you essentially need to figure out another way of storing data relating to that animal product. So for example, maybe when it goes to the slaughterhouse, certain information is recorded, such as, what time the animal arrived at the slaughterhouse, the slaughter method, who actually performed the slaughter, what tools were used. Was it like a mechanical slaughter? Was it stunned, etc.? While those pieces of data are very relevant to the entire idea of maintaining halal integrity, but you can't store everything on chain. So I decided to use IPFS, which stands for Interplanetary File System. Whoops, don't know what I'm doing there. All right, so it's a decentralized storage file storage system, right? Yeah, so it's distributed. So rather than maintaining a database, if I store certain information about the activities going on in the supply chain on IPFS, then you almost get some of the same benefits of storing this same data on the blockchain, but you don't have to actually store it on the blockchain. And so, yeah, maybe we can go into how IPFS works, but essentially it's a peer-to-peer file sharing system. And so what I was doing, if I remember correctly, was so mint token. Yeah, it's if you've ever read code that you've written previously, sometimes it's a bit hard to figure out what the hell's going on. But yeah, I think I've got it in. So yeah, anyway, I'm using IPFS to store some of the other data. I've got three functions: mint token, update trace, and get animal details, which is kind of so obviously the mint token is taking a token ID, the type, the breed, the herd number, which we gather from this. So we're taking the input given and passed into this form. We're taking that and we are creating an NFT in storage. I mean, we first need to check if the NFT exists. The way that kind of NFTs, at least in Solidity, are created is essentially just with a token ID. You need an identifier. So I'm creating the NFT and I'm assigning it its values, and then I'm minting the actual NFT and I'm returning the ID. With update trace, this is the function to update the event metadata. So this just takes the ID of the animal or the product, and essentially it is pushing the data URL or URI, and it's pushing it to the trace. Right, so it's creating a new event with these three arguments and pushing it to that particular NFT's trace array. So it's pretty simple. the contract is actually very simple, and I'm going to go through this at some point and change a lot of it, make it what I want to do is try and make it work for any type of product, maybe not just meat products. I'm not sure, we'll see. But yeah, right, that was a bit of a digression there, I guess, maybe. But I was trying to figure out what I was doing with my server. So my server is, yeah, there you go, mint NFT endpoint. So this is what isn't working, because I'm pretty sure this is supposed to actually do something. As far as I remember, if this is successful, you should get a message here saying, NFT has been minted successfully. And if not, then I should get an error message. It should be passed on to the front end, which I'm not. So something is going wrong here. Again, I'm getting a 502, which means there's an error. There's an error minting. So something's going on. Something's going on in here. I'm just going to print the error and just see what is going on. But the reason I'm choosing to work on this app as opposed to build another one is a few reasons. Number one, I think it mimics kind of what I would typically be doing in a real job a bit more, kind of working with existing code, working on code that maybe I wrote, or some, in this case, obviously I wrote, but working on code that is, I guess, a little bit ambiguous, or code that you haven't read before or read in a long time, and you need to kind of figure out how things work and how things are stitched together. And also it gives me the ability to work on the full stack. I can, this application is a full stack application. I've got front end I can work on. I've got back end. I've got smart contract stuff. I've even got, the ability to add things like databases, which maybe tomorrow or whenever I'll kind of explain some improvements that can be made to this. Setting up a CI/CD pipeline, setting up integration tests, etc. So it kind of just allows me to, I guess, improve my skills in a way that's, I think, is a lot better than building a bunch of, to-do list apps and stuff like that. It doesn't really make you a good programmer, in my opinion. So anyway, we'll see what happens. So I'm just going to console log this error and just see what is going on. I also need to figure out how to there must be a way of not having to restart the server each and every time, but anyway. So let's just try that again and just see what's going on. Okay. So I hope I'm not exposing any API keys or anything, but okay, error processing response. Transaction underpriced, tip needed, tip permitted. Okay, so something to do with my transaction. I don't have enough. Oh, there you go. Transaction underpriced, tip needed, tip permitted. So obviously I need to pay for the transaction that I'm sending. I am using the Polygon blockchain network to do what was I using? Polygon. Maybe I need to just get some more. Yeah, so I'm using the Polygon testnet Amoy. Don't know how you say it. I should actually be able to see my contract somewhere if I find my. Okay, I'm just gonna pause it so I don't expose any API keys, but um, Let me just move it over. Okay, I think my contract is at this address. Let's have a look. Yeah, this. Oh, there you go. So you can see that the tracker token is halal trace or H trace. So yeah, this is all the stuff that I've been doing with my contract. So 168 days ago, I created a contract, and then all these are transactions. Um, let's have a look at this one. Maybe that's to, what was it calling? So it's calling method, that method by this address on that contract. Yeah. So yeah, so actually this is my contract on the Polygon testnet. So what's happening? Why is it not working? I think I just need to get some more Matic. Okay. So I may have to do this off screen just because I don't know how to pause it. Yeah. So what I'm going to do is let's get rid of these. Let me just right. Actually, I think I can show you this. I don't think there's any issues showing you. If I can remember my password. Yeah, fine. Okay, cool. So yeah, this is my account. To be fair, it doesn't really matter. I don't have any real funds in this. So let me copy my address. Polygon faucet. Oh, I can't even bother to log in. So I'm just going to try and get some more tokens so I can actually use the testnet so I can actually interact with the blockchain. So why is this taking so long? I don't know what this is. Okay, I gotta connect Discord. Yes, whatever. Okay, so let's confirm that. Oh, nightmare. So that should. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. So obviously it's been a while since I've actually used it. And so yeah, things change very quickly in the blockchain space. So this used to be using a different token. So if we go back to our code, okay, I've got my API key, got my deployed address, got my private key. I should be okay. So I'm connecting to my wallet tracker. Okay. So I'm just going to make sure my private key is actually the same as what is listed. It will be because I haven't changed it, but let's just have a quick look then. Do I need to start again? Okay, still not working. Okay, one sec. All right, still not working. So let's see. Same thing. Um, right. So what am I? I'm using ethers.js. I'm using the library ethers.js. I've got the contract here. So I don't know. Do I need to check my API key still working? Private key. Let me just see. All right. Anyway. I don't know why I'm using Edge. Don't really like Edge. Maybe I just need to update the library. What's the latest? I'm not sure if so 5.7.2. Okay, yeah, latest version is. Let's see what the last LTS version is. Mm. Uh, is it here somewhere? It might have been fixed. I haven't. I guess I don't really know exactly what the issue is, but this is saying something like, uh, must just be something to do with the gas prices. So, what was I doing? Let me maybe upgrade ethers to. Should I go on the? All right, 6.13.3. 6.13.3. So it could be this. Otherwise, I really need to get my mind back into smart contract mode because I can't actually remember that much. Well, this is the contract stuff is fine. It's actually this stuff that I need to figure out. Make sure that it's right. Um, so I guess I'll just quickly check my alchemy keys. Let me just close that. Whoops. Okay, my apps. Okay, so it looks like it's fine. Oh, okay. We've got something here. All right, that's for the Ethereum network. So, um, Yeah, so it looks fine to me. Let's see if that makes any difference. Oh, something's gone wrong. So I think this is the change that needs to be done. No. No, that doesn't make any sense. Why can't I do this? Cannot use import statement outside the module. One sec. Okay, so my API key is fine. Um, I can't remember. Can't remember how to import in this thingy. Um, right. Anyway, what the hell's going on? The issue is I can't do this. This is what the old way of doing things. Of like importing. So how do I import? How do I do this in like ES6 or whatever? I have to either make this .mjs or what I need to add like the type or something like that. Let me just see what ChatGPT says. Uh, it's a pretty terrible question, but wait, what? What was going on here? Yeah, there's nothing wrong with what I'm doing. Uh, there's nothing wrong with what I'm doing here. Ether is not provided with JSON. Yeah. Why is that not? Why won't it stop? Can I read properties? Why is it undefined? Why is it undefined? Okay, so obviously something's going wrong with the with the transaction. So the gas price is null for some reason. So I just need to specify. You see, I don't really get it because my contract. I mean, unless what am I using the wrong? You see, what happened was I made. In fact, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to revert this back to an old version, or I'm going to split. So like, so what did I merge here 6 months ago? Right. So I'm on a different branch. So let me go back to, what is this? The main, this is UI tests. Let's just go on main. What is going on main? I need to actually figure out, because there was a point where all this was working. So I just need to actually check at what point it was working. And then I can just go from there, because I think I tried to make improvements, or I tried to change a few things to the contract, and then I think that's what is causing these issues, because I can't figure out what exactly I've done. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure this is the one that should work. 1, 2, 4. We'll see, but I'm not sure. Okay, no, it doesn't work either. So let's get rid of that, and let's get rid of that. Right, I don't need any of these changes. And I'm just trying to actually, when was this? 3 months ago. June, May. I need to just figure out. Okay. Okay, you're right. So I think this is the one that was working. So yeah, execution reverted token already exists. So let's do 11229907. Cattle Angus herd number 9. So this should, no, still doesn't work. Hmm. All right. So this works. This works. Get animal details. So the contract does work. It's just that something's going on in these two. So I'll guess I'll figure that out. Let's see. So this is actually gathering data from error retrieving content from IPFS. Okay. Yeah, I mean, this is the problem. I'm gonna have to have a look at this, figure out which point it was actually working, go back to that, and then start from there because I don't know what changes I've made, and at the moment, I'll be honest, I don't really know what's going on. Um, so if I do that, 1, 2, 3, 4, import poultry, chicken, head number 1, it should say that already exists. Okay, that's fine. So that's great. So if I just do like 9888, animal type, whatever, herd number 1, what's going on? Is it the same thing? Yeah, okay. So something's obviously changed in the meantime. Just need to figure out how to tip needed 25 whatever. So 25 gray, which is like 0.0000025, and I'm only giving 15 million or whatever it is. So I guess I just need to figure out how to pass. Right. I don't know what's going on. I don't really know what's going on here. All right, let's try this. Right, okay. So, so right, so what did what did I do here? I essentially just specified the gas limit and the gas price. So I got the gas price from the signer, right? Um, and the gas limit I got from estimate gas. So let's just see what did I actually do, because I don't really understand what it is that I've just done. So a non-constant method requires a transaction to be signed and requires payment in the form of a fee to be paid to the miner. The transaction will be verified by every node on the network, as well as by the miner who will compute the new state of blockchain after executing it. You cannot return a result. If a result is returned, it should be logged. Okay. So I think what I really need to do, I think what I'm going to do tomorrow is I'm going to go back over like some smart contract stuff. I might just watch or I guess read some documentation and just kind of understand the Ethers JS library. Um, yeah, I think I need to get back into it because I just can't really remember half this stuff. I don't really know what I was doing today. It took me forever to do that. Let's just see if the update works as well. So the ID has been successfully registered to the blockchain. If I reload this, is there anything? Nothing happened? No? Okay, I'm not sure. I guess we can trace it. So if we click on trace and type that product ID in, we should receive something at least. Okay, cool. Yeah. Okay, so I think the IPFS thing isn't working either. Okay, let's record something because this section here is supposed to record stuff on IPFS. Result of the last health check, fine. Organic. Let's see if this works. So this should use this update. Okay, so it doesn't work. So it's the same thing. Maybe I need to do the same thing. Let's see if that works. Now, if this doesn't work, it might just be something to do with IPFS. I don't really know what's going on. Processing error response. So I'm getting something here. 502. I don't know. Let's see what it's saying. It must be something to do with IPFS. I guess I'll fix that tomorrow. or later on. Let's see what happens. Execution reverted, token ID not associated with product animal. Okay, so that's quite strange. So the mint, oh, I think I remember what the issue was with this, is that because the IPFS thing isn't, the IPFS server isn't running when I stop and start. There's some issue there. I can't remember now, but as you can see, when I put this together, it wasn't really that great. And yeah, I'm gonna need to do a lot of work on this, to be fair. Let's see, I think I have to register, then record the data straight away for it to be okay. So 54 has been registered on the blockchain successfully. Now if we record, let's see what happens. Age 1, 12, whatever. Fine. Organic. Let's see what happens. I don't think it's gonna work. Someone's gonna, I'm not sure exactly. Okay, that's fine. So an event has been added to that ID successfully. So this is the idea that, you know, now you want to once the animal has been recorded onto the blockchain, it's got a specific ID, which is associated with the NFT ID, and then at each stage in the supply chain, this would be used by different actors. So at, you know, this tab here represents what a farmer might want to kind of record in terms of maybe they do regular checks on the weight of the animal, the age, when the last health check was, maybe the result of the last health check, and the type of feed that it's been having. And, you know, and they can continue to do as many of these. So maybe this is like every week, right? I should probably get like a timestamp. So maybe they do it every week or every year or whatever it is. You know, maybe they say something like antibiotics administered. Administered, right? And then, you know, I don't know, grain. And so at each, you know, they can do this for every animal that they have, and it'll all be added. So all this information is stored on IPFS, whereas only this stuff here is actually stored on chain. And then at any point in time, the idea was that a consumer could kind of, I mean, this is all in one front end. It would obviously be kind of separated. My initial idea was to have this as like a mobile app, so someone could either scan a QR code, or even as simply as, you know, having an ID number on the packaging of the product, right? So let's just say you buy a, I don't know, pack of chicken tenders, and it's got the product ID of 54. You could just type in 54 into this web app, and you could get the trace. So okay, well, we've got the type. Well, obviously in this case it's Black Angus. It comes from the herd number 5. I wanted to include things like where it actually came from, so what farm it came from and where the farm was. And, you know, these are the events. So okay, this was the address of the actor, it was done at this time, and the event details were you know, the weight, the age, the health check, and the result was fine. Okay, and in this way, let's say, okay, now the farmer passes the animal onto the slaughterhouse. So we're going to say, okay, this animal has been hand slaughtered and it hasn't been stunned. The slaughterman ID is, whatever, and it's been cut into 2 parts. We're going to submit that, right? And then again, when we go ahead and trace it, obviously that's great. We're going to trace that. I'm going to 54. And we can see, okay, so now I know that this animal was slaughtered by hand. It wasn't stunned. The slaughterman ID was 4565, and this was done on the 8th of October at 5 o'clock. So that's kind of the idea. So I think I've got it working to how I had it last time. Again, you can see it's not great. What I'm going to do is I'm going to just push these changes. Ethers updated, gas price. Right, so that should be fine. I don't think there's anything there. Oh, not working. All right, anyway, I'll sort this out. But yeah, so I think that's probably it for today. Tomorrow, I think I want to go through it and kind of understand what it is that I've done and why I've done it, and then I want to propose a redesign. I want to propose a bunch of changes, and then we'll go through and implement those changes one by one. I think, yeah, I don't know where I'm going to start, but yeah, I think that's the best way to do it. Set up like a Trello board or Kanban board or something, and just go ahead and kind of put all them in as tickets, and then every day I'll just work on 1 or 2 tickets or whatever it is, and I'll do things kind of properly how I used to do while I was on placement. Yeah, so that took forever because I didn't know what the hell I was doing, and yeah, these videos are going to be like this. I guess it shows you yeah, I guess it shows you what kind of level I'm on, and what a programmer or a software engineer kind of goes through, or at least a software engineer with my ability and my experience. It might make you feel good. It might you might be looking at this thinking, this guy doesn't know what he's doing, or you might be thinking, I haven't got a clue what this guy's doing. This is he must be a genius. I don't know. So yeah, I think I'll leave it there for today, and I'll see you tomorrow. I'm gonna keep this up for as long as it takes until I actually get a job, or until this becomes a product that I can actually, who knows, it might turn into something. So yeah, small amounts every day, and it all piles up, and it's all practice. So yeah, I think that's it. I'll see you tomorrow on the next video.